me outside again, okay? I am really excited. And you can hear with the echo, we are out in the streets. We are on location with one of the dope ladies that I have met on my persistent travels, my persistent hustle that I'm hearing, because, I get forgetful, But anyways, Marcie doesn't like that. I'm sorry. Okay, Marcie, anyway.
I'm good.
Introducing Marcie from the rain. How are you?
I am doing amazing.
Yeah, you are.
Amazing.
I am so happy to finally bring you on random-ish and to have a conversation with you, because since I met you, I'm a vibes person, right? And 2 seconds ago, I was just asking her, wait a minute, how did we meet? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait, did I meet her at the chamber? How did we meet? And she was beginning to tell me, go ahead, Marcie, because I'm cracking up.
So 2022, we're renovating. And she called, I'm a DJ. When can I pop by? I said, well, we're here. She'll pop by 3 times after that. Here's my card. She'll pop by, jump in. I'm a DJ. Here's my card. I'm a DJ. Here's my card. So so one thing is with Sonja is she is persistent, and I love that about her. And we connected right away. Her persistence. I love persistent people. Never giving up.
Oh my God. I am cracking up, and because that is me, 100%. But I do so much, you know what I'm saying? So people are like, oh, Sonja, if you know me, then you know. I'm about it, you know what I'm saying? But I am doing a lot. I'm building an ecosystem and a world over here, right? That should be here long after I'm gone. Another 100 years from now. Thank you very much. Praise. Okay, anyway, sorry, I digress. But I have a lot going on. And I meet a ton of people. I remember faces, but I might not necessarily remember how I met a person. And every time, not every time, but usually, when I'm like, how did we meet again? It's like some girl you was
I'll never forget it. It's an unforgettable entry when she just barged in. We've been friends forever, so I will never forget her entrance.
Oh my I am, wow. Okay, so I guess I have to stop thinking that I got a little fear to me and that I'm holding back and stuff. Wow, hilarious. Wow. I actually did that with Brittany too.
You did?
From Best Fit. I was driving down the street and I saw these DJ lights. I was like, wait, what is that? And so I was like, okay, wait. And so I like to say whip a bitch because I'm from the 90s and the West Coast, you know what I'm saying? So I hurried up and made a U-turn and I pull up and I was like, oh my God, there's black women in there. I did the same thing. I remember that one because that was it was a crowd of people, which is not, I can do a one-on-one. I was very surprised that I did this one because, we are not always, we're much more welcoming now, okay? We're more welcoming now, but we're not always so welcoming. But I was just like, I said, what y'all doing in here?
Oh
my gosh. And listen, so let that be a lesson for you, okay? Sometimes you got to follow those impulses. Not sometimes, literally all the time.
Yeah.
Okay? When it comes to manifesting our great lives, you got to follow those impulses all the time. And speaking of, I know that you follow some impulses too, Bam.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons why we get along so well.
Absolutely.
Kind of like the tribe was calling, right?
Yeah.
It's really been an insane ride for you. So you got this beautiful building. How's it been so far?
So far, God is good.
Right.
In all business, you have the ups and the downs. You have to learn your lesson as you go on. So year one, it was kind of the way we're kind of figuring out, what went wrong, what didn't go wrong, what went well, so we could keep doing that and then get to the next level. So in any business, but it's been good.
Yeah.
It's been really good. I'm just doing what I feel I was birthed to do this.
Yes.
I am not a people person, but for some reason, I've been an accountant for 20-something years. Had a dream
accountant to party person.
Yeah, had a
That's
dream.
what I'm talking about.
You know, had a dream while I was being an accountant.
Yeah.
One day I'm gonna own my own business. One day I'm gonna own my own business. And I just love making everything pretty. I love taking a dull place and make it beautiful. I got an eye for something and a God gift in my hands. I know I have a gift in my hands. I could take something that looks like, and I just start moving my hands and it turns out beautiful. So it's a love story for me with decorating that I've had for many, many years as a young girl, as a young mom at the time. And here I go after 26 years, after COVID, I said, it's just not working for me. I have no love for numbers anymore.
I love that.
But I love the decoration that I could walk into a room and then I just like, your first love, like, oh my God, I'm in love.
Wow.
And that's just how it was for me. And talking to my husband, I said, I just think it's time for me to step out on faith.
Wow, I love that.
The dream of having a venue was like another maybe 10 years down the road.
Okay.
But to go out and start my own design and decorating business was what I left my job for.
Okay.
And
right.
6 months down the road, I'm going down the street where I've been trotting down this Naugatuck Avenue for years. My son is 30 years old. And I've been going down here, so maybe like 25 years, taking them to the beach. Never saw the building, and 6 months after I left my job, we go down to the beach, me and my husband, just to sit, come back, and I looked and I said, oh, the building is vacant. And here we are, going on year 3. So, so I am blessed. Walking to do what you love to do is the best. Yes, you're gonna have ups and downs, but when you love what you do, you're gonna keep it moving.
Yeah.
When I get up in the morning, I'm ready to run. Ready to run.
Oh, I
This
love
makes
that.
me run.
That is
Yeah.
that is wonderful and inspiring to hear. And you know what? I just would like to say something, okay? Right? Okay. I have known Marcie for a little while now, all right?
2022.
That right there, all that passion, see, you would not have even thought that she has an issue with talking with people, right? Just now, right? Because the passion came through, right?
Yeah,
and it overtakes,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like if you have the ability to move aside and get out of the way, right? Which is what they're always talking about, which makes no sense when
Yeah,
you hear it.
yeah,
When you hear get out your own way, when you hear get out of the way and let God do His thing, you know what I'm saying? You're like, what? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that is it. That whole like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I'm a shy, maybe reserved person. I'm not one to just like to get out and start, I am barging in nobody's doors like crazy Sonja. But when you do, when that flow state comes through,
Yeah.
it's bam, it's there. And so I'd imagine that every time a client comes through these doors,
I open my mouth and I don't know where the words come from. It's just something. It just flows, and then it's like I get out of my comfort zone. I'm like, move out the way.
Yeah.
Let God do His thing. I open my mouth and He just take over. And there's a lot of times when I go back and I say, who was that?
Isn't that amazing?
The shy person. I would sit behind the desk. I could work my numbers now. I could do my financial statement easy. I don't have to really talk to my coworkers.
Yeah.
But one-on-one, that's just not me.
Yeah.
Never been me. I've been a shy young lady since I was probably, I don't know, a little tot. But but God placed me in a place where I speak to hundreds, 20. I did the numbers actually couple nights ago just to see what we did in people that booked and had events. 111 events on our first year.
Oh my gosh.
So that, and they said.
Hold on a second. She just tried. Okay, y'all. All right. So for those of you who are already like in right and heard that number, said, "Ooh, did she even realize what she said?" No, she didn't.
First
realize
year,
what she said.
and so God is good.
111.
111.
One. Magician. As above, so below. Bring it forth. Manifest that thing.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I'm
Wow.
thinking that's booked and booked.
Yeah.
So imagine how many people I
Have
spoke
spoken
to,
to.
and probably more than I've spoken.
Right? She's like, I spoke
Right.
to more people in this past year, in this first year, than
Yeah.
you had my whole life.
Yeah, I mean, one-on-one and sitting with them and going through their process and helping them planning their special days. Special
Yeah.
brides are my favorite. And out of
Yes.
that 111, I did 11 weddings. So there we go again, 1-1. 11 full service weddings. And yeah, so, it's amazing.
Yes.
I still got to check, pinch.
Right, check
Is this
yourself a
for
little
real? Yeah, because it's just, we dream a lot.
Yeah.
But then walking in it,
Yeah.
seeing it manifest, see it realize it's just it's a different level.
It's a totally different level. Like, I feel like right now I'm feeling that because, so my trademark finally came through.
Praise God. There we go.
Okay, so.
Sonja, no, I'm a woman of faith. So I'm gonna be praising God through this whole time.
Okay. So, and I'm a big believer in that it's all the same tribe, but he gives us different ways of expressing because he's different in the same. All you know what I mean? So it's all good. But girl, that's been like, because I went about doing things a little bit different than everybody told me I needed to. Oh, no, you need to trademark it first, and I was like, no. I need the message to spread first, and I need it to like get out there first, and then I'll trademark it when I can like actually monetize it.
Right,
you know what I mean? I
right.
didn't want to just be like, I have a message, pay me to hear it. You know what I mean? So, but I did think I was a little bit crazy, you know, like, and especially when the situation came of, almost losing. You know what I mean? I've been doing this since 2009 and almost losing it to a lipstick, you know what I'm saying? It was just, insane. But long story short, you have to walk these things out to become who you need to be to get in that space.
Yeah, listen, you're talking right, because, and then it's always going to look crazy from someone looking from the outside looking in. It's she crazy.
Yeah.
I've heard it.
Yeah,
I'm crazy. You're gonna leave what? Six-figure salary to go what?
To do what?
Something what? And I'm like, yeah.
No, well, she's doing it because you got to, and I love the timing of you doing it too, because in my studies of the university, I got a little bit nerd in me. They know that. She doesn't really know that. I've got a telescope, right, and I've got journals on journals on journals of things that I've read and taken notes and all of that good stuff. And one of the things that they were saying that I was reading back in which very oddly enough I can't really find anymore. There's a lot of information that is no longer out there, which I find interesting. But in 2011, it was saying that there was going to be this great transfer that was happening. And it would start in 2017, really start to accumulate in 2019, and then it was going to be kind of like this whole new thing, right?
Wow.
And I was kind of like, that's interesting. I wonder what that's going to be. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what that's going to be. And now that after we live it, I'm like, wow, it has been a great shift back into consciousness, back into your spirituality, back into, an understanding that there's things that we don't necessarily get. And we can question, and you can search, and you can, expand and use and experience, but we're not really going to find all of the answers. How important has your relationship been? I know that you've mentioned God a million times, right? But how important has your relationship been for you in those times where you're like, did I really hear from God? Am I doing the right thing?
Oh, yeah. Oh, let me tell you. In the beginning, it was like every other day. I was on the brink to say, let me call my boss. I said, they still got my spot. Did they fill my position? Because now I'm saying I'm crazy. I'm not listening to other people say I'm crazy. I'm like, you crazy.
Yeah.
But at those moments when I get low and I talk to God, I could just literally get out of bed. Like you said, okay, well, you got your little pity party. You still doubting me. Get up, and my phone will ring. Literally, someone will have a walkthrough. Literally, someone would just say, I want a book. Can I give you a deposit now? I said, no, just hold on. Let me just do the paperwork first.
Yeah.
But I would say 9 times out of 10 when I get to those moments and I'm questioning God, I stopped doing so mid last year, I finally stopped questioning. When things get low, I stop it because he always shows up. And it may be small miracles, but he showed me, I got you.
Yeah.
You're going to get where you need to get, but small miracles is what I've been asking for, and he gives them to me. So I know that I'm on this path, on the journey with him. And I also know it's even greater than just owning a building, owning a business. It's greater. The purpose that as a woman, a minority woman, stepping out on faith, and pursuing and seeing her dream realized, it's an inspiration to others, and I want to inspire.
Yeah.
So the greater reason is not about, okay, just, making money. You got to pay the bills, so that's just what it is, right?
Right.
But, there's to inspire. I've always want to inspire. Through anything I do, I've always wanted to inspire female.
Yeah.
I just know I have a calling for female.
Right.
And I have the opportunity to do so.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because it is those rough times, or so-called rough times, right? Where it's kind of like your faith and your trusting ability. Because I feel like, side note, this is something that we'll be talking about in the new book. That faith and trust is two different things.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
You can have faith and not trust God.
Yeah, because I definitely can say that I've
Because
definitely
we've
been
had
guilty of that.
conversations.
Yeah.
You come over, what's wrong? And we sit down and I'm like, okay, girl, you just don't know.
Yeah.
But at the end of our conversation, we both inspire each other. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's more to it than just like, oh, I own a business, oh, I want to make money.
Yeah. It's
what
spiritual.
could you, it's spiritual.
It really
And you make
is.
that connection. So I see what this woman barging in here when we were, raggedy, on our knees, scrubbing and doing what we need to do to get the place ready.
Yep.
Just being persistent.
Floor, that's right.
Yeah, we were putting the floors down. We were doing this room and, all other things. The whole venue was
Yes, the whole
renovating.
venue,
So,
that's right.
and that was a connect.
Yes.
And I've always loved people that pursue and be persistent, because I say, you know what, they're going to get where they need to get, because they don't, one no don't.
No.
You can't,
yeah,
the nose,
you
the
can't.
nose, you can't go with the nose.
Yeah, you really just can't go with the nose.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you're going to get a whole ton of no's, and I still get a lot of no's. Yeah.
And it does happen, and it can be, and there's always things that happen that, like, it doesn't necessarily work out like you thought it was going to, there's all of those, but it's all a part of the journey, and I kind of feel like it's always leading you to another level. Like when you look back on things, you can see how situations actually, it's most of the time, it's actually making room for the thing that you were actually going for.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And so it does help, though, when you have, either past experiences or people around you that can help you remind yourself that, no, stay the course or whatever.
Yeah, you can't expect things to just, you're going to slide into home run.
Yeah.
You have to go through the valleys and, to get to the mountaintop experiences. But if, there's a scripture, one of my favorite scripture, it says, the good and the bad have to mix. So, no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. So the weapons will come, and that they come to discourage you, to say, you know what, I'm gonna throw my hand up, I'm gonna give it up.
Yeah.
But then they won't prosper. So the prosper part is like, just keep going.
Yeah.
Because eventually that barrier will break down. Eventually you're gonna get your breakthrough. But if you give up at the first, then that means, because it's sharpening you, right? It's
Yes.
sharpening your skills.
Yes.
And if you give up in the first try, then you weren't built for this.
You weren't really ready for it anyway.
You weren't really ready
Yeah.
for it. It's not your time. Yeah.
I saw a meme or a reel the other day with Eartha Kitt, kind of like talking about the challenges of life, and if you're not ready for the challenges of life, then you're not built for it.
Yeah.
And when it comes to manifesting, because I always want to bring it, kind of back to that a little bit sometimes, it's like, I believe this is something we're all doing. It's not a one-time thing. It's not like you said, oh, I'm going to manifest this business. You know what I mean? It doesn't exactly work like that.
No.
It's like there's these dreams that you have. And it's like in a very odd way, yes, you did have the business in your mind, the event venue, like you had it all in there.
Yeah.
You didn't realize that you had it all in there,
Right.
but of course it was in there. And then what I feel like so interesting is as you're going along, these things happen that remind you of things when you were a little kid. It reminds you of things that you wanted, right? And then you get put in situations where like the opportunities and memories, like they come flooding back, and then it's like things just kind of like again, it's not all, you know, peaches and cream, but it just falls into place. So
It does.
you very much feel like that's what's happened with your business as well. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. You know, when I see some of the struggles I went through as being an accountant, or even the struggles and also the good times where they would ask me to decorate or ask me to plan an event, and I just think, oh, I'm just doing it for them, not knowing God was already planning my life, my future when I exit. So it's like I was in training for what I'm doing now while I was, you know, making a living to feed my my kids when they were younger, you know, and just have a, you know, live a life. But everything, I don't think you bump into anything. Like, I don't think I bumped into this building.
Yeah.
You know, it was assigned, it was, you know, there. And I think when you have a dream and a vision, and you just keep it on the forefront, because something's going to come in, like we talked about, saying you're crazy to think this, or if you have this job that, you know, it pays the bills and whatever, oh, you don't want to leave stable for unstable. So those things will come, but if you have a dream, and I think your dream is what gets you going. It's not your 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, you got to keep it alive some kind of way. And sometimes you get life comes and you have to tuck it back somewhere. Yeah. But always keep it somewhere there. You don't, you know, don't kill it. Don't kill the dream, you know.
Don't you be the one to kill the dream.
Don't you, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because other people are going to try to do it anyway.
Let other people try to kill it. Like, let it be that you tried and you tried and you tried. And it's not working out. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I interviewed, I think it was, I don't even remember which one. It was either earthquake or it might have been earthquake. Sounds more like an earthquake thing. When I had said something about, you know, not giving up, and he was like, nah, some of y'all do need to give up. So, so there's certain things that I think that people do and can get have a misunderstanding, right? There's like things that you want to do, right? And even because I noticed, like, in my journals, right, things I'd like to experience is the way that I like to put it, instead of being like, I'm going to manifest this. It's things that I would like to experience. Keynote. There's things on there that are just like, I know it didn't, like, yeah, you want it. Like, say, for example, I want to win $600 million with the lottery. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes, I have very much, after thinking that and being like, ooh, this would be amazing, then the immediate thoughts of, you know how your family is. You know how everybody gonna come out in the woodworks, right? Yeah. All your friends, how your phone used to ring like crazy when you was like #1 and everything. Your phone finna go back to that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? There's like a lot of different elements of, okay, well, how would I do that secretly? Well, you know what I mean? Trust me, I know where I would spend it. Okay, a lot of investing would happen. But it's like you have these like these thoughts that are like where you know that you don't actually really, you know what I mean? I kind of enjoy the building of the business, you know what I mean? I wouldn't mind winning $1 million, you know what I'm saying? So like, I feel like there's certain things that you put in there that are like realistic, and then there's certain things that you are just fantasizing about. Yeah. And I think that that's where people can get kind of messed up, right? In their, you know, manifesting wish list, or in their dream life wish list, you know, people automatically go way for like something that's, you know, and it's hard to say that something's impossible, you know what I mean? Because I don't think that anything is impossible, but you go for something that you feel like is impossible and set yourself up.
Yeah. So I think there's dreams and there's fantasies, and we have both. I believe we have both.
What's your fantasy? What's one of your crazy, like, if anything, like somebody just came through and said, Marcie, here's $200 million.
I want to own a whole strip of hotel in like Myrtle Beach. Yes. Yeah, something crazy like that.
Yes. Investors.
Yeah. So hit me up, investors. Right? Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I would like to manage something like that, own properties. You know, my husband loves to own properties. You know, he owns a property right now, but that's his dream. Right. And, you know, every time I think about this building, he gave up his, or I wouldn't say give it up. I'm saying it's on hold so I could walk in mine. Oh. you know, and so it's not even far-fetched because that's like right up his alley.
Yeah.
But I'm not talking about 1 or 2 buildings. I'm talking about
the whole strip.
a whole strip. Yeah.
Why not? You know.
Yeah, but you know the difference with the fantasies, I think, like you said, is way out there. It doesn't make, like I said, it doesn't, you know, it's not a first love.
Yeah.
It's not. It doesn't make my heart
Yeah.
go like this, you know, business that I'm doing. It does. So I think the difference is when we go to dreaming, if you're doing it because somebody else is doing it or it looks pretty.
Yeah.
That's their lane.
Yeah.
You know, if you let you know, your dreams and your dreams and your visions or your goal, it should affect the heart.
Yes.
Right? And
Come
if
on
it
now.
doesn't affect the heart and it doesn't ache for it, then that's me.
Yeah.
Because I really ache for this. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, it's like your first love, you walk in and it's like, oh, I'm just cheesing, you know,
Yeah.
all shy and everything.
Yeah.
But that's what your dream should
That's what your dream should
feel
do for
feel like, you know.
See, I just absolutely love that, and I feel like we have summed this up perfectly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In a way that is understandable on how it is that we can manifest beauty in our lives, manifest our
Yes,
dream
yes,
lives.
yes.
Now, they've seen just a little tiny bit of here.
Yeah.
You know, I know that we got to wrap up here in a little bit, but, you know, we do need to let you know that we have an event that's coming up.
Yes, we have the
prom
prom reboot.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our second annual.
The second one.
Yep.
Boop, boop.
You don't want to miss it.
Don't want to miss that. That's going to be on May 3rd. Make sure that you can grab some tickets on Manifest Beauty Shop. You can make 4 payments that way, right? Instead of having to pay it all. It's not super expensive, but I'm just saying, you know, listen, it be real sometimes. You know what I mean?
Just trying to make it easier for you all.
Just trying to make it easier. You know, you can use Klarna or you can go on eventbrite.com and we will have a link for a hotel. We'll have a few rooms available at a lower rate for some of our people that came through last time from like Danbury and Massachusetts.
Yep.
And so they had to leave a little early because they were like, girl, we don't want to drive and be coming home at midnight at 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, okay, well, I can't be mad at you about that, right? So this year will be fun. We'll do like a 90s music, so it's going to be a little more
Amazing.
90s.
I'm looking forward to it. Yes.
I'm going to give away a pair of tickets this weekend at the bridal show. I was talking to Milford Med Spa.
Okay.
And she asked me, they're doing something for women's, I think Valentine's Day or something like that.
Okay.
And she was like, oh, can you like give for the raffle? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, you should give away a pair of tickets. And I was like, why have I never thought about that?
Yeah,
Why
that'd be
have I
amazing.
not thought about that for our promotion? So we're gonna give away a couple of them actually.
Amazing,
You know what I mean?
amazing.
Like why? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is why you need a
part,
team.
Exactly. It's a part of learning as you
That's-
grow.
yeah.
Learning as you grow.
You
Yeah,
know? And
yeah.
it's good to have folks that are, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, that are like, you know, when you're in that simpatico like
Yeah.
type of a deal. But let's tell them about your business and how they can find you on the internet, how they could book a session, like all of that good stuff.
Okay, so I am a wedding and event located in Milford, the Rain Wedding and Events venue located in Milford at 240 Naugatuck Avenue. The phone number is 203-516-0552. You could call me so we could book a consultation. Any brides coming up, you know, please call me. So our focus is weddings, quinceañeras, and Sweet 16. But we do host other events such as baby showers, corporate events, and whatnot. So www.therainvenue.info. You could also go on the website, look us up. You could Google The Rain, and we'll pop up. And you could just go and explore a bit to see what we're doing here.
Yes, and
Yeah.
it's great. She's got the decorations, full service.
Full service,
We got
all
the
inclusive.
chef.
We got the catering, we have the core. You name it, we can make it happen for you.
I love it.
You're in good hands with me. Yeah,
You're in good hands with the rain.
good hands with the Rain.
I love it. This was such a great conversation.
Oh, this was amazing.
And you were
Yeah.
just like, you know, it was last week, I'm having this like female business owners series that I'm kind of like doing right now. And we popped the cherry. Again, Marcie don't like that kind of conversation, y'all. For Melissa's Kitchen. And I was so happy because afterwards she was like, you know, this was really fun. And she was like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I feel like, you know, Marcie was a little nervous.
I
She was like, I don't know about this, Sonja.
I was. When she approached me, I said, oh, am I going to have a script? Just make
She
sure
asked
I
me
know what
for
I'm
a
saying,
script.
because I can't do no. no. But I'm good. This is fun. This was fun.
this was great,
this is fun. It's
right?
just like having a conversation. It's just like you popping in and start talking. It's the same thing. Pop in. Here's my card. That's it. Yeah.
That's what it is.
That's what it felt
On
like.
that note.